Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I thought today would be a good day to start off the week talking about some of the transfer news that happened over the weekend. And judging by the plays on the channel and the views of videos, I thought we'd touch on Roberto Firmino and his potential move away from Liverpool, because that gained some traction over the weekend because Juventus have submitted a bid of 19.5 to 20 million pounds for Roberto Firmino. And this is a transfer that is picking up a little bit of speed in the media, even though I don't expect this move to happen because Firmino still is a big part of Jurgen Klopp's plans there at Anfield. And so far in preseason, Firmino has played a major role in the Liverpool team. And I expect him to actually be in the starting 11 on opening day against Fulham. Rather than Darwin Núñez, I expect it to be Firmino, Salah, and Luis Diaz in the front three. And one of the reasons I think that is because Diogo Jota is still injured. He's still suffering from a hamstring injury, and if Liverpool were to sell Firmino, at least now at the moment, then that would deplete the squad even further for Jurgen Klopp going into that first day of the season. And I know a lot of people will be excited about what Darwin Núñez did against RB Leipzig, but again, once we get to that Premier League season, Liverpool are going to need all hands on deck. They're going to need some depth, and Roberto Firmino adds that and continues to be a fantastic player and a crowd favorite at Liverpool. Liverpool will kick off the Community Shield on Saturday at the King Power Stadium against Manchester City. And again, I also think Firmino will play a big part in that game. We'll see Núñez as well, but Firmino is going to play a role in that match as Liverpool try to get a first piece of silverware. There were quite a few misleading headlines over the weekend. I read quite a few from Liverpool blogs indicating that Liverpool were ready to sell Roberto Firmino. But if you've seen Firmino play in the preseason, in the games in Asia and the game in Leipzig, he really had a significant role in the team, and he's played really well in preseason. I know it's only preseason; it's really difficult to read into things, but Firmino has been good so far in the preseason. Now, it is his final season at Liverpool in terms of contract, and all signs indicate that Liverpool are happy to let Firmino leave on a free contract. Now, he only earns £180,000 per week for an average salary of around £9.4 million per season. And again, like I said, it's his last season at Liverpool. He's 30 years old. He'll turn 31 at the beginning of October. And it is probably the right time for Liverpool to move on Firmino, let him to leave, but not now at the end of the season. Juventus quoted as offering around £20 million for Liverpool, which seems a bit strange because Juventus haven't seemingly spent a lot of money in recent transfer windows on players to buy them outright. A lot of work that Juventus has done in recent seasons seems to have been in the free transfer market. They did lose Paulo Dybala in the offseason this summer. He left on a free transfer and joined Roma. And so, all signs indicate that Juventus want to find a replacement for Paulo Dybala. Now, it seems a bit strange that rather than giving Dybala the salary and the money that he wanted to be one of the top paid players in Serie A, that they would decide to go out and spend £20 million on a Roberto Firmino who is older, and then to give him a wage. So, that's just a bit of a funny one to me, that Juventus would be interested in spending all this money when they could have just re-signed Paulo Dybala. Now, Juventus have already signed Angel Di Maria on a free transfer, as well as Paul Pogba, and then they spent £41 million to acquire Bremer from city rivals Torino. So they have spent a significant amount of money this season after missing out on winning the Scudetto last season. They've lost Alvaro Morata. He's gone back to Atletico Madrid. So there is an area where they need to address. There's quite a few areas, I guess, that Juventus need to address. Like I said, they lost Dybala as well. Federico Bernardeschi has left. He went to Toronto FC on a free transfer. So Juventus do have some players, some areas where they need to strengthen, especially in the attack. But again, I find it a bit strange that they would allow Dybala to leave and then they want to bring in Roberto Firmino. Looking at Firmino's stats over the last season, he scored just 5 goals in 20 appearances in the Premier League, compiled just 985 minutes in the league, and tallied also 4 assists. Overall, he appeared in 35 games in all competitions, scoring 11 goals, tallying 5 assists, playing 1,804 minutes. And there were some injury issues last season. Again, he's getting older. Firmino is. He had some muscular injuries and a foot injury that kept him out of matches in the Champions League. Those same injury issues, as well as a positive COVID-19 test, kept Firmino out of games in the Premier League. There were quite a few significant issues. In total, he missed 16 matches due to injury in the Premier League last season. So there is that. Again, like I said, getting older, but I don't see Liverpool cashing in on Firmino yet. I see them letting him go on a free, just like they did with players such as Adam Lallana, Daniel Sturridge, Jorginho Wijnaldum. Firmino fits into that category of players at the moment. And, just to see how Firmino's Premier League performances have declined over the last couple of seasons, you can look at his expected goals tallies. And in each of the last 4 seasons, he finished with a goals total that was below his expected goals figure. Now, last season, he scored 5 total goals, or 5 real goals, with a expected goals rate of 5.25. So just a little bit off that, so pretty much right there. But if you go back over the last couple of seasons, we saw Firmino just not putting away those chances. 9 goals in the 2019-20 season with an expected goals tally of 16.69, and 9 goals in the 2020-2021 Premier League season with an expected goals total of 12.86. So those goals totals and those expected goals figures are not matching up. They're off. And so one of the reasons, Liverpool very stat heavy, and why we've seen Diogo Jota getting more playing time, and now Liverpool springing for Darwin Núñez. Now, the thing is, Núñez is going to take time to settle, and don't expect Klopp to just throw him right into the starting 11 that first day. I don't expect that to happen in the same way that Fabinho wasn't thrown into the starting 11 when he arrived at Liverpool, and we didn't see that from Diogo Jota. Luis Diaz was a little bit different. It came in the middle of the season, and we had seen Salah and Mane away at the Africa Cup of Nations, but we didn't necessarily see that with other players. So I don't expect him to be thrown in, even though he had those 4 goals against Leipzig. I still think Firmino has a significant role to play, and again, I think he'll start on opening day against Fulham in the front 3. Now, with September, with August being so long, if you will, with teams playing 4 to 5 games in the Premier League, could Liverpool be tempted to sell Firmino for 20-25 million pounds to Juventus? I mean, that's a significant fee for a player who turns 31 on October the 2nd. I can see that happening, but at the same time, Klopp is a big fan of Firmino. Firmino continues to put in good performances for Liverpool, even though, again, his numbers were down last year. It was his fewest games since arriving at Liverpool. It was his fewest goals since arriving at Liverpool, and it was his fewest assists since arriving at Liverpool in the Premier League. Again, though, I think he can play a big role, and he's going to be doing that mostly off the bench once we get into the season. I guess at the moment, I don't expect him to be at the World Cup with Brazil, so that's going to allow Liverpool to have Salah, Firmino, and Diaz all at Melwood, or I guess not at Melwood, at the AXA Training Center, training during the World Cup, preparing for the second half of the season. That could be really significant for Liverpool as we go into the second half of the season and to Christmas time and that area, because the fixtures are going to come fast and fierce at the start of the season, and then we're going to have the World Cup break, and then in the second half of the season, more fast and furious fixtures because of what the World Cup is going to do and to break up. So some significant news coming about Firmino, but I don't expect him to move unless Liverpool can line up another attacking player to come in, and for that price from Juventus to increase, which rumor has it is supposed to increase somewhat. But again, I don't expect him to leave. Again, with Jota suffering from a hamstring injury right now, and Liverpool being a little bit short in attacking areas, I think that Firmino stays this season and leaves on a free transfer for next season. All right, guys, let me know what you think about the potential of Firmino leaving for Juventus. A lot of news over the weekend, a lot of talk about him leaving has sprung up. But let me know what you think about him going in the comments below. Also, reports saying Tyler Morton is not going to go out on loan to Blackburn Rovers, which I reported on in our video on Friday. Reports indicate that Klopp wants to keep him at Anfield for at least the start of the season due to the injury currently to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and kind of looking over that midfield being a little bit short, being a little bit thin right now. But again, this does not mean Liverpool will be going out and signing Matheus Nunes. We reported twice on him last week because reports continue to say Liverpool are going out to sign Matheus Nunes from Sporting Lisbon. But of course, I keep saying no, that's not going to happen. And several Liverpool insiders are saying that that deal is not going to happen and Liverpool will not be signing him because they're looking at Jude Bellingham next summer. All right, guys, again, let me know what you think about these transfer rumblings, these transfer news, these transfer rumors in the comments below. And of course, you can find my social media handles in the description below. Of course, guys, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We've got so many subscribers over the last month and a half, and I really appreciate it as we push this channel forward. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time here on Liverpool Reds FC Blog.